What is up, everybody? Yes, I'm in the middle of laughing because we have one of the funniest and really coolest human beings on the planet. You've definitely heard about him. If you haven't, welcome to our planet. He joins us every year at least once to make some predictions, and he's pretty daggum good at it. Our friend, Jeff Foxworthy. Jeff, what is up, man? It's so good to see you.
Yeah, so good to see you guys too. And well, it's really good to see you and David.
Here we go. Yeah.
Crain,
I knew this was coming.
Crain has been talking trash all over my Georgia Bulldogs. So,
Jeff, the only thing I'm saying is the truth.
Hey, because I'm always watching, even the 50 weeks a year that I'm not here. I'm watching.
Okay. Well, Jeff, I mean, people are asking, we get it all the time. Why, the questions right now that we, who really killed JFK, right? Did we go to the moon? And why does Blaine hate Georgia?
I don't.
Those are the three questions that nobody can answer.
I don't hate Georgia.
Blaine, you hate him.
No, I do not.
You hate him.
Jeff, and I think we can
Blaine,
agree on
be a man and own it, okay?
If I hate him, I'd tell you. Trust me. I'm a fan of the Yankees and hate them right now. I would tell you. But look, I think me and you both can admit this isn't the Georgia team we're used to seeing in the past couple of years.
And you're right about that. Well, okay, can we go a step further? This isn't the college football world we're used to seeing.
Yeah. And we talked about that, Jeff. We've talked about that a bunch. And with the, with the NIL and the transfer portal and the way the game is changing, conference realignment, we've had multiple guests on this week where we've talked about the same subject. It's almost impossible now to monopolize college football the way that Nick Saban did for a while at Alabama and the way that Kirby was for a little bit before you really got infused with the NIL and the transfer portal. I mean, there's teams that have gone from, the outhouse to the penthouse, from the suburbs to an estate with a pool and a gate. I don't know. Not saying a team can't win it twice in a row, but I don't know if you can put together a team that is much more dominant than every other team. It's kind of like the NFL a little bit.
It is. I think it's a lot like the NFL because the way Nick did it and the way Kirby was doing it is you had 4 and 5 star talent stacked like cordwood. Mm-hmm. So somebody goes down, the guy behind him comes in, and you're not missing a lick. Sometimes it's an uptick. And so I think this has been really fun, really exciting for college football, unless you were one of the few dominant programs.
Yes.
And what it's done is if you're, a Michigan fan, an Ohio State fan, a Georgia fan, an Alabama fan, it's put your world in turmoil because.
I'm just happy to be in the dominant crowd category right
now. Well, you really moved up. It's like you got that arranged marriage to Harbaugh.
The days of dynasties are over.
And I'm going to say this. When Michigan won the Natty, I texted David immediately, congratulated, said, roll in. Did I not?
Yes, you did, sir. I appreciate that. I put that on my wall, actually. I screenshot it.
He still talks about it.
I said, because I knew that feeling from 2021. But the way Michigan did it, Michigan was so senior heavy last year. And they set themselves up to do it, and they pulled it off. And that was beautiful. But I think that what Michigan did last year is getting harder and harder to do.
100%.
Way harder.
It's kind of like you're talking about how it's unfortunate for the few that are top. It's kind of like when a dictatorship falls. Like, it's great for 90% of the people. They're great. Oh my God, I can go outside. I don't have to wear that blanket with the eye holes cut out. We can get the same amount of food as everybody. But it does suck for the people that were in charge.
I'm sorry, Alabama fans.
Eerily good analogy.
I'm sorry, Alabama fans. Trent Richardson's not going to be your third string running back.
Alvin Kamara is transferring out.
Yeah. Well, and here's the problem. The word fan is short for fanatic. Mm-hmm. So in 2021, I was there that night in Indy when Georgia, for the first time in 43 years, wins a national championship. And I got tears streaking down my face, and I'm going, that's all I wanted. I wanted was one. I wanted to win a natty. What you find out is that's not true. once you
Say your
win
joke.
one,
Yeah.
then you kind of want to win another one.
Yeah.
Kind of like the
And-
blue comedy joke.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Ron
yeah.
White. That's Ron White's joke about seeing breast. You know, once you see one, you kind of want to see another one. So
Yeah, it's like Bobby Boucher said. I really appreciate what you're showing me right now. I really, really do. It's funny because we were actually talking about this earlier. In 2010, I always tell people, I watched Auburn win a national championship, go undefeated. Cam won the Heisman, and I can always say, like, man, like I saw that. There's a lot of Auburn fans that hadn't seen that since 1957 or whatever. But now, like, you eat the filet mignon once, it's hard to go back to a bologna sandwich,
You
man.
get hungry
It's hard to
again.
go back.
Yeah.
hard to go back and sit in code.
I
once
have
you've
one
been in
question.
football.
I have one question before we pick these games, because one of our listeners brought up the fact that, Jeff, you went to Georgia Tech. So I'm just wondering, at the end of the year when Georgia plays Georgia Tech, are you in any sort of conundrum at all, or are you just always Bulldogs?
No, I grew up. My dad left early in life, so my granddad was a huge influence, and he was a giant Georgia Bulldog fan. I used to listen to Georgia games sitting on his lap, listening to the radio way before they were on TV. So I was always a Georgia fan. But when it came time to go to college, unbelievably, I did not get a football scholarship.
What?
And a lot of people missed out on 143-pound
The Fox.
So,
Jeff the Fox Foxworthy.
But I had to work in a grocery store, and I had to live at home and commute. I just didn't have any money. And so Tech was 12 miles away, and Georgia was an hour away. And so I ended up going to Tech, but they asked me to take some time off after my third year, and I never went back.
You left early. You left early for the draft. Yeah.
I left
You left
early.
You went to the pros.
He declared.
I left after my junior year.
Nice.
But I've always been a Georgia fan. I
Okay.
did go to Tech, and I freely admit that. But even when I was going to Tech, I was rooting for Georgia.
Nice.
Okay.
All right.
There's no chance. I don't
your
care what
sign,
year it
David.
was. I was
we
never
go.
getting into Georgia
Trust the
Tech.
signs.
They didn't have to look at my highlight film.
Yeah.
They looked at my transcript.
It's like, yeah, I had to stay close. I had to stay close to home and go to Georgia Tech.
I'm like, I'm really good at math until you start putting different letters in it, and I'm awful at science. And apparently, if you put it together, that's engineering.
Can't your
So I'm
English
out.
class be your English class? Your
Yeah.
math class be
Exactly
your
right.
math class?
It could be
and
that-
keep
it could be
them
that
separate, right?
Whether you're hitting bets right now or you're not, you know how it is. It goes up and down. There's only one place. Whether if you want to bet on sports, if you're new to it, if you got other sports books but you haven't checked out Bet Online, you need to check them out. You can bet on politics as well. And when you head over to betonline.ag to place your bets today and you use promo code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, you get a 50% sign-up bonus of up to $250. Plus, BetOnline is tossing a free 100 spins in their casino for all who sign up ahead of this year's presidential election, whether it's props, teasers, whatever, Major League Baseball, NHL, there's so much going on. And like I said, not just in the sports world that you can bet on. If it's out there, if it's being played, if it's a contest or a competition, betonline.ag has the choice to bet it. Versatile payout methods. You don't have to worry about it. The website's really, really easy to navigate. And like I said, use promo code BOOSTER, BOOSTER. You get that 50% sign-up bonus of up to $250. Bet Online, where the options are endless, and so is the fun.
All right, 5 big games this weekend, huge slate. Why don't we start with Tennessee hosting Alabama? You first, Jake. Who wins?
God, this game, I've gone back and forth. I'm trying to see how it's going to play out in my head. I've watched Tennessee struggle offensively the past couple weeks. We know how good they are defensively. I've watched Bama struggle defensively. Part of me wants to go with the home team here. You would think eventually Nico is going to have one of those games where he freaks out and he gets confident. But if I've got to pick a team in this game, which I do a sports show, that's kind of part of the deal, I'm going to go with the older quarterback. I think Jalen Milroe in Alabama find a way late. I would not be surprised if this was actually a more high-scoring game than what people thought, but I think Jalen Milroe makes a play late, whether that be with his legs, whether that be finding the 13-year-old witch, Ryan Williams, making some incredible play, or Jeremy or one of the backs they have. I like Alabama to score a late touchdown. I wouldn't be shocked if this game goes into overtime and Jalen Milroe runs in the power read to win the game after Tennessee kicks a field goal. Give me Alabama.
Blaine?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Alabama on this one, too, and I really like Alabama to cover the 2.5. I think you could probably play this game up to a touchdown. Nico hasn't proven to me against a good football team. Name me a football team where Nico's been the difference in a game. I haven't seen it for the last 3 weeks. Go through Florida, you go through Oklahoma, you go through the Arkansas game. I like Jalen Milroe to outperform Nico in this game. I know Tennessee's defense is good, but I think they're going to be on the field a lot, and sooner or later, that Alabama offense is going to break. And I think the Alabama defense is going to show up a little bit in this football game, too. So give me Alabama, and you can play this spread up.
Up to a touchdown. What do you say, Mr. Jeff?
I'm kind of like Jake. I have gone back and forth. One, you would think the environment at Neyland Stadium, that Neyland's like one of the loudest places in the world. But Nico keeps reminding me of Milton a little bit. It's like Nico won't push the ball downfield. And it's almost like he's not going through progressions or something. Or, God, I want so bad to say Tennessee at home. I mean, I think that home field advantage, but I think I'm going to go with you. I think that the older quarterback, and Tennessee's got a great defense, but Lord knows what Milroe did to us. Man, when you've got a quarterback that can do that and is the threat to bust it open with his legs, I think I'll go with Blaine. I think it's going to be really, really close, but Alabama and a squeaker.
Yeah.
You guys remember the scene the last time these two teams faced off in Neyland and the goalpost came down and they go in the Tennessee River? Man, I was ready to take Tennessee at home earlier in the season. But, these last few weeks, while both teams have sort of fallen off, I think the Tennessee fall off has just been a little bit more drastic, a little bit more concerning for me. If the Alabama defense shows up the way that Blaine's talking about, that's going to be a big key for them moving forward.
Well, it's like, to me too, David, like if both these scenarios play out, if one, like Alabama is up late, right, like up a touchdown late, and Nico has to drive down the field and score a touchdown, I feel like Alabama can stop him and win the game. If Alabama's down like 3 or down 4, and Jalen Milroe has to take them down the field and score a touchdown, I think Jalen Milroe and them can do it.
Even 90-yard drive.
That's what I'm saying.
Even
like
95.
that's just either one of those. I think Bama finds a way. That's just why I think we're all.
Yep. So I'm gonna take Alabama in that one on the road. Let's light up the cigars. Next one up. Let's go to the Big Ten. Illinois hosting Michigan in a top 25 matchup.
Tuttle starting, right?
Tuttle starting.
Jack Tuttle starting, which I think is the right decision for Michigan, even though they're still going to be the Michigan we think they are. They're going to be ground and pound. He can run it a little bit, so you can do some of the same things when they were having the Orgy and the rest of the gang in the backfield. But man, I like Luke Altmaier. Illinois is wearing the uniforms from 1407, so that's going to be great. Back when they only had 4 colors and 2 songs, so it's. That's going to be interesting to see. I think it says a lot about Brett Bielema that he's an offensive line guy. He looks like he's chasing the guys from Dukes of Hazzard, but yet now they've become a passing team that can make big plays down the field, and Altmaier is just a gamer. I think this one's going to be tight. Probably going to be low scoring. That's not a shocker of the Michigan game, but I think Tuttle makes a turnover late that costs Michigan. Give me Illinois to win this game and continue to put themselves in a position to maybe play in the Big Ten championship game.
Blaine?
Yeah, I'm not going to pick a team that gave up 240 rushing yards against Purdue when you're playing Michigan. Khalil Mullins will have an absolute day against these guys. You're not going to have to ask a lot from Tuttle. There are always going to be certain throws he's going to have to make, but I do trust the running game and the defense. Give me Michigan and the cover.
Mr. Jeff?
Golly, you guys have good games this week. Illinois in a real close one.
Ooh,
Just because it's at Illinois, and I think if Michigan falls behind, they can't score fast. So
it's true.
That place could be rocking. All right, David, who you pick?
Champaign, y'all, guys, playing at Champaign, it's such a cool environment. You know how much respect I have for this Illinois program and Brett Bielema in general. I'm really proud of Luke Altmaier after transferring from Ole Miss. Someone tweeted at me this week, what if Jack Tuttle is good? And it's like, yeah, I saw that spark that happened when he came in the Washington game. They played from behind for the first time. 2 turnovers in the second half, though, is what ended up costing them the game. I agree with Blaine on the rushing attack, though. If Michigan can just run the football, I think the defense is going to step up. And with only 2 losses, I don't think those NFL-bound seniors yet have, like, given up on the season. I think they're looking at everyone else around the country, like we talked about. Everyone's losing. So, hey, we can still make this thing, and one of our losses is out of conference. Give me Michigan by 1 point on the road in a close one, man.
It's going to be a hell of a game.
All right, let's go to Arkansas hosting LSU after that big win against Ole Miss.
You know, I hear a lot of people using the term trap game for LSU. This is a rivalry game. I don't think there's going to be any oh no, we're going to overlook Arkansas. What worries me, and what I've said multiple times this week, is, you know, when I was coaching, it was a lot harder to get our guys to play good the next week after a big win than it was after a tough loss. Because after a tough loss, you want to get back out there the next day, man. You hope you play on Thursday. You want to make up for it. But LSU does have a veteran guy in Nussmeier at quarterback who, while he hadn't had a ton of starts, he's been there a while. He's from a football family. I think LSU is very, very confident, and they should be right now. That defense, they're playing team defense. You know, they're not missing tackles in the open field. They're turning guys back inside, going into the leverage. They're doing smart things. They're playing discipline. And I think these teams are just about even. But it seems to me that Taylen Green throws his best. We know he can run. All right, nobody's doubting that. But throws his best in the biggest moments. And Sam Pittman is like a phoenix that has risen from the ashes. I think he's already saved his job. If they win this game, he's definitely saved their job. These teams are pretty even to me. I actually think Arkansas's offensive line is a better run-blocking offensive line than what LSU is, which is crazy to say after what we thought coming into the year. I like Arkansas straight up at home. Something tells me the spidey senses are tingling, that they're going to sell a lot of Razorback nuggets this weekend. That place is going to be rocking. Give me Arkansas. Give me Taylen Green. Give me Bobby Petrino in the motorcycle and the neck brace. Turn it up down there in Fayetteville, Blaine. They're going to be calling them.
I agree with you. I'm taking Arkansas in this game, too. I bet Arkansas the week before against Tennessee, and absolutely Taylen Green outplayed Nico in every single way. He shows up in big moments. There's one thing I can trust about this Arkansas team, which we talked before the season, which was the biggest surprise for us. Sam Pittman is a what? He's an offensive line guru, and they have to be able to do what? Run the ball. You didn't see that early, but you're seeing that now, and LSU has been struggling being able to run the ball. So obviously I'm going to favor the home team that can turn around and hand the ball off to Jackson, get 4 or 5, and then you layer that with the play action from Taylen Green, and that just creates and makes it easier. I feel like Nuss is going to have to create a lot more on that side because of the lack of being able to run the ball. So give me Bobby Petrino. I think T. Will have a great game plan walking into this football game. I like Arkansas on the home team.
Jeff, who wins?
I'm piggybacking off Jake. I think it's hard to play. I think that win last week cost them something, and they've got A&M, I think, next week. And Arkansas is a time of possession team, and you know LSU wants to score fast. So Fayetteville's going to be rocking. I'm taking the Hogs. I love Sam Pittman.
You see the fun there, piggybacking? I see what Jeff did.
Piggybacking.
I see what
I mean, he's a professional.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I see what I'm a game-recognized game.
Now I'm torn on it, man, because I wanted to pick Arkansas all week and thought I might be the only one to do it. Now, all of y'all have picked Arkansas. Josh Pate's come on here talking about Arkansas, and I'm like, do we squad ride this thing, or do I have to go the other way and pick LSU? We're going to squad ride?
I know what you're going to do, Anakin. Huh? Go ahead and pick LSU.
Let's go with Arkansas.
Yeah!
Squad ride!
There we go.
Hey, if you can bet your bottom dollar, if LSU wins this game, the screenshot underneath.
Oh,
all of us
100%.
picking Arkansas, we're going to get roasted.
If Tennessee and LSU win, we're in trouble.
That's what makes college football great.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go to Iraq for real.
ACC, Miami still unbeaten, going to go on the road and play Louisville. Who are you going to take? Take Louisville. You won't do it.
Say what?
You won't do it.
Say I won't.
You won't take them.
Probably not.
You won't take them.
Love the over in this game. Louisville's been such a disappointment defensively. I know, there's still time for them to turn it around as far as, kind of a 30,000-foot view. They may be out of the ACC race by now. I like what they do offensively, and there's something about this Miami defense. And we've talked about them not getting out of man coverage. They get Ruben Bain back. But that secondary has struggled. So I actually think Louisville is going to lead for most of this game. I wouldn't be surprised if they were up double digits in the fourth quarter, but Cam Ward and Restrepo and the rest of Heaven's Army that Miami has on offense just seems to find a way when they have to turn it on to really turn it on. I think Cam Ward has a huge Heisman moment in this game. I know Louisville's not Georgia. I know Louisville's not Notre Dame. But I think Cam Ward has a humongous Heisman moment in this game. And Miami, once again, after skating by against Virginia Tech, the skin of their teeth they get by the protesters at Cal. I think they find a way to get by Louisville. Give me Miami kicking a game-winning field goal, 40 yards off the left hash to win it as time expires.
Give me Louisville. I'm taking Louisville straight up in this game. I think they're going to keep the ball, play the possession game, limit Cam Ward and the possessions he has on offense. I think Cam's going to make a couple turnovers, which we have seen from him lately, which is somewhat surprising. And I like the run game from Louisville, and I think that's going to be the big difference. Sooner or later, Miami, your luck's going to run out. You can't keep winning games like this. It's a luck of the draw, and the ball is going to bounce the other way. I think Brahms been waiting for this. I think he's been waiting for this game. I think he's going to have a couple tricks up his sleeve, and I think late, flip it the other way around. Louisville field goal at the end of the game.
Well, you do know, Blaine, what good defenses and good exorcists have in common.
I don't.
They limit possessions.
There you go.
Write that down.
Very good.
Jeff, how about that? Huh? You like that one?
You can buy that one if you like.
I'm embarrassed to say that made me laugh.
I know. I'm embarrassed now that I heard myself say it.
Blaine changed my mind. I'm riding with Blaine.
Come on,
wow.
Yeah, because Miami reminds me of TCU 2022.
That's a good comp.
Is pulling out every game right at the last second, and eventually that catches up with you. Yeah, I'm going. I just changed my mind. I'm going Louisville.
How does it feel to be a trendsetter?
I'm doing my job over here.
You guys with the mustaches picking Louisville.
Yeah,
What side are you taking?
Miami. Cam Ward. Miami.
Okay.
Good.
56 to 53.
Probably.
Yeah.
You're probably.
Yeah.
Well,
63 to 60.
Hey, so a low-scoring game.
Yeah, low-scoring game for them. 63-60. I'm going to take Miami on the road. All right, let's go to the game of the weekend. Georgia going on the road to play Texas. We've been talking about it since this schedule came out, since Texas joined the SEC, and here we go. Who wins?
Everybody's been hot on Texas, and they should be. They dominated Michigan. They dominated Oklahoma. I know, those teams had the offensive balance of a one-eyed, one-legged pirate, but at the end of the day, Texas was still able to dominate both of them and look really good on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Georgia's had their problems, right? We watched them struggle early against Alabama, but they fought back. I like them going up tempo. I think it helps them out. We talk about Texas as the one team, at least so far, that if they dominate in this game, could possibly separate themselves from the rest. But let's not forget, Georgia has become one of the new biggest dogs, pun intended, on the block, right? Kirby kind of took it over from Nick Saban. I don't think this team is what Georgia has had the past 2 to 3 years. I think we can all agree on that. I don't think they're going to make the mistake of starting off slow like they did against Alabama. They're going to come out ready. I think they're going to go up tempo a decent amount. I would not be surprised if Georgia came out and took a lead early in this game. But I think Sarkisian has the most complete and balanced team in college football. It's college football game's a lot like Earth. Gravity matters, and over 4 quarters, I think Texas is just a better football team, and they find a way to keep Quinn Ewers upright enough. Give me Texas by a touchdown.
Woo! All right. The more you look at this game, the more you got to like Texas. They check every box from quarterback to offensive line to receiver, the D-line, the back end. And what's one thing you should be able to trust about Georgia that you can't trust this year is, one, they haven't been getting to the quarterback that well, and that's a huge way you have to beat Texas is get to Quinn Ewers. But sooner or later, Kirby Smart's going to pull one out that no one expects him to win. I'm picking Georgia to win this football game. I think Carson Beck has a big moment, and I think ETN is going to have a little bit of success on the ground we're not seeing from Georgia, and I do think they come out up-tempo. Give me the Bulldogs, Jeff. Don't hate them that much, do I?
Hey, Blaine, you and I are going over and egging Jake's house.
Yes, I know where he lives.
And just like that, you totally redeem yourself.
Let's go.
Yes, totally redeemed yourself. I'm with David that when the schedule came out, I thought, man, this is 3D chess between Sark and Kirby. You got your offensive genius, your defensive genius. Georgia has not been what we have been in the past. A lot of that, in the first game of the year, Michael Williams gets hurt. I mean, that definitely did not help our pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you're going to see Nate Frazier play more this week. Nate Frazier is electric. And Kirby loves everybody picking Texas. I will tell you that.
Yeah.
He loves that. And Georgia actually responds better when everybody on the planet thinks they're going to lose. So give me always, but give me my dogs.
Let's go. Let's go.
You know, I took my son to his first college football game this year. I'm proud of that. And some of the things that Steve Sarkisian and that Longhorns team did in front of my young son's face should be illegal, okay? It really should. I think they're that good. I think they're the best team in the country. The way they beat Oklahoma in Red River sort of solidified that for me. But I'm not going to sit here in this chair when Mr. Jeff Foxworthy takes time out of his week to come on this show. I'm not going to sit here in this chair and take Texas. Let's go, Georgia. I'm not going to be barking at anyone, but I will say let's go with Georgia on the road for you, Jeff Foxworthy.
Let me get this right. I'm the only one picking Texas?
Yes.
It's a great gig. It's a great gig.
Yes.
Hey, I love it.
Let's go.
Look, I love it. Who knows? Who knows in this year of college football exactly what you think's going to happen? The exact opposite happens. So Georgia probably win by 40. That's probably what'll happen.
But how fun, man. How fun.
Oh, it's great.
That you don't know what's going to happen. You know,
Perfect.
that you don't know that Alabama's going 12-0 and winning another natty.
It's
This
beautiful,
is fun.
Jeff.
It is fun. And it's perfect because it's the first year of the 12-team playoff as well. And I'm looking around. We make it. Yeah, you may get one of those first 4 seeds in a bye.
BYU might win it.
Yeah, hell, they're going to ride their bikes up there and win it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what they'll do. But, Jeff, please, I know you're always busy as heck, man. Tell everybody what you've got going on. I know it's a full year deal for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, people say, are you on tour? And I said, well, tour implies that it stops at some point. So I've been on tour since 1984. No, I kind of rearranged my year this year. First time ever where I made it real heavy in the winter and the spring and the first part of the summer because I wanted to enjoy my grandkids, football season, and bow hunting season.
Yes.
So I was sitting in a tree last night with a bow and arrow, and so that's what I'm going to be doing after football Saturday.
Man, that's awesome. I was actually sitting in my chair with a bow and arrow yesterday, but for a totally different reason. Jeff, you're the best, man. We love having you on. Thanks so much for coming on. I know everybody knows where to find you and find your stuff. It's always so hilarious. I go back and I watch the new stuff and then watch the old stuff. It's so great. But just thanks for being so gracious with your time.
Thank you, brother. And Blaine, thanks for redeeming yourself, man.
Yeah, look, I couldn't sit up here with that mustache looking at that camera and pick Texas.
That's exactly right.
Damn
God,
right.
it's healthy.
Perfection.
Look
God,
at
it's
that.
Come on.
gonna tell me a joke and sell me a reverse
Why are my clothes
mortgage.
falling off?
That's exactly right. Jeff Foxworthy, thank you. You're the best, man.
Thanks, guys.
The question everyone in America is asking,
Am I racist?
Make those moves.
get a Daily Wire Plus membership to see Am I Racist?
This is all I have. Did you want to?
I can help you guys out.
Yeah.
Go to amирacist.com and sign up now.
I've been told because I'm a white male, kind of at the top of the pile. How do I get down from the top?
I don't think you necessarily can.
How do we get past all the talk about racism?
We have to love each other.
Well, it can't be that simple. How do we get to a point of racial harmony? It's good to talk to you. We're still on a journey, all of us together.
I think you got some journeying to do.
Just talk to me about the statistics. We have an epidemic.
20 million crimes a year, 6,000, 7,000 hate crimes. No, there's no epidemic.
Why are we talking about statistics? This is not a matter of statistics.
Well, you asked me about the statistics.
Am I Racist? Coming to Daily Wire Plus on October 28th. Rated PG-13.